Jeremy Corbyn hits back after Labour attacks. What are we talking about? Well, we're going to read into this more from Sky News, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from Sky News with the headline of Jeremy Corbyn hits back after Labour attacks. The former Labour leader has defended his manifesto as proposals which would have redistributed wealth and power after Sir Keir derided them to attack the Tories. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. I'm going to go out on a bit of a limb here, and I'm saying I'm kind of inclined to agree a bit with Jeremy Corbyn here, because his manifesto in 2019 was a real change, of real need of change. But unfortunately, the problem is that as great of a manifesto it was, the people just weren't ready for it. The people didn't want it. I think if this manifesto that he had back in 2019, I think if he had done it, if he was the leader now, and he didn't have the anti-Semitism stuff over his shoulders, and he introduced this manifesto, and considering what's been happening with the Tories and whatnot, I think people would have bought into it a lot more. I think people would have bought into his manifesto. They may disagree with me, but I think they would have. But without a shadow of a doubt, the anti-Semitism thing was a major issue for him, and he just never got a grip on it. And yes, of course, the right-wing media played a key role in pushing him out as a leader as well as hampering his chances at the election. And no one's going to take that. You can't not take those caveats into consideration in that election. But is it right that Sir Keir was to use Jeremy Corbyn as a battering to hit the Tories? I don't think he needed to do that, and I just think like it feels like really sad, really a part of me, because it's just like he did kind of take advantage of he was part of Jeremy Corbyn's cabinet, and now you see him now like literally pushed him out, literally. Keir Starmer. It does leave a bit of a sour taste in my mouth when I think about it. Make no mistake about it, Jeremy Corbyn has his problems. I know that. I'm fully aware of that. But I don't think Keir needed to bring his name up. For me personally. Like, he doesn't need to use Jeremy Corbyn to hit the Conservatives over anything, really. He doesn't need to use that line. He knows he doesn't need to use that line. His team knows he doesn't need to use that line. But I do think that manifesto was pretty decent in 2019. Even if you disagree with me. So Jeremy Corbyn has hit back at Labour's attacks on his manifesto, saying they were fully costed proposals that would have redistributed wealth and power. The former Labour leader told Sky News that he was proud of the offering he put forward in 2017 and 2019, and he would continue to fight for those policies if he is re-elected as an independent MP. It comes after Sir Keir Starmer compared Rishi Sunak's tax-cutting manifesto to the proposals put forward by his predecessor in 2019, saying there is no money for the Prime Minister's pledges. Right, I'm going to tell you all that there is money for pledges. This is absolute BS. If a politician tells you there's no money to fund things, they are lying to you. We have our own currency. We can make money. Yes, creating money creates influence, increases inflation. There is always money to be used. There is always money there. So when a politician ever tells you there is no money, just remember they're spending huge amounts of money on the military, or like a Rwanda planes policy that doesn't make any sense. And so when they say they don't have money for something, I'm just going to tell you, they're lying to you. They are lying to you. There's no getting around this. Don't buy into that premise in any way, shape, or form. It's not a case of wanting to use the money. It's a case of choice. They choose where they want to put money to. So that's really important context, I think, is there. It's a Jeremy Corbyn-style manifesto, which is load everything into the wheelbarrow and didn't provide the funding and hope nobody notices the Keir stance. So at the time of this recording, I have not read the Conservative manifesto, so I can't confirm that. But to call it a Corbyn-style manifesto is absolutely bonkers, considering they're completely contrasting policies to what the Conservatives are. So I don't see the logic of making that comparison. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. So I think it's a stupid comment from Sir Keir Starmer. That's despite Sir Keir being in Mr Corbyn's shadow cabinet for the 2017-2019 elections and endorsing both manifestos. In response, Mr Corbyn said, if our manifestos in 2017-2019 were implemented, energy companies wouldn't be making record profits while millions of people suffer in poverty. A billionaire wouldn't be purchasing Royal Mail, and there wouldn't be raw sewage in our rivers and our seas, and 250,000 people wouldn't be homeless. We wouldn't be wasting public money on private health contracts, and we wouldn't in any way be, and we would be way ahead in the green investment that is needed to tackle the climate crisis. He added, these were fully costed proposals that would have redistributed wealth and power, and I was proud to stand alongside millions of voters and activists calling for the transformative change. Mr Corbyn went on to say that the crisis that we face today, even more pressing and severe they were when he was Labour leader, and require a fundamental shake-up of our economic and political system. He said if he is re-elected as an MP, he will continue to speak up for the real change that is needed to tackle the crisis facing us all. Mr Corbyn is standing as an MP in the North constituency of Islington North, which he has represented for 40 years. He's running to be an independent after he was barred from standing for Labour. Mr Corbyn lost the whip in 2020 following his response to a report into anti-Semitism within the party by the Equalities and Human Rights Commission. Mr Corbyn has previously said Sir Keir should not diss the party's 2019 manifesto, having served in his shadow cabinet between 2016 and 2020 and promoted the policies at the last general election. Sir Keir himself said during his pitch to be Labour leader that factionalism has to go as he promised and not to trash the last 4 years under Mr Corbyn. If he has said that, then that's pretty hypocritical considering what he just trashed. He's trashed that 2019 manifesto. Defending his change of tune, Sir Keir pointed to his historic defeat inflicted upon Labour when the nation last went to the polls. He said, if you lose that badly, you don't look at the electorate and say, what are you doing? You look at your party and say, you need to change. But allies of Mr Corbyn are angry about Sir Keir's remarks, which repeat a similar attack launched by the Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves in The Sun over the weekend. The campaign group Momentum said Sir Keir knows that the 2019 manifesto was fully costed, but instead he insisted explicitly on attacking his own side during an election and spreading misinformation on the process. They said perhaps what Keir doesn't like about the 2019 politics, like public ownership and wealth taxes, was that they were offering real change, not the illusion of it. Meanwhile, Andrew Fisher, a former Labour advisor who helped write the last two manifestos, said the Tories offering today included things like welfare cuts and tax cuts for the landlords. For Sir Keir Starmer to describe that as a Corbyn-style manifesto is an insult to Labour members and supporters, he said. And there is a list of the candidates for those for Islington North, for anyone who's in the area and planning to vote, whichever one you want to go to there. I've always spoken on a separate video about what I think about Jeremy Corbyn standing, whether or not I think he will win or not. I don't know. Is my answer. I still think he's going to fall short, even that's been being there for 40 years. I still think he's going to fall short. Me personally, but going back to this point, like I don't think it was right for Keir to attack the 2019 manifesto. And I just don't think he needed. To me, it's like, why does he need to attack Jeremy Corbyn? Why does he need to go there? Like, the enemy is not within. The enemy is the Conservative Party, Rishi Sunak. Like, why do you need to take pot shots at them? I don't think that was helpful. I don't think it was necessary. And especially with certain members and certain party members and whatnot who are within Labour, it's not ideal. It's really not. I just think it was unnecessary, me personally. And there were a lot of things in that 2019 Labour manifesto which I thought were really good as well. You know, and it was highlighted obviously there in Sky News what was some of those things as well. And you look back on hindsight and think if he was the Labour leader, maybe some of those things would have come to pass. Obviously, we don't know. It's all about, it's easy to say in foresight now, but I don't think it was right for Keir to attack it in the way he did. And you have to remember, there was a machine, there was a real machine behind the Conservatives. You had Boris Johnson, you had the Get Brexit Done slogan, you had the right on it. You also had the which were pumping out so much for the Conservatives. And you had everyone who was just kind of sick and tired of Brexit and wanted it done. They just wanted to be moved on from it. And that the slogan of "Get Brexit Done" appealed to people. It appealed to so many people as well. So it wasn't a case that it wasn't a case of that manifesto. It was the anti-Semitism problems. People weren't sure about Jeremy Corbyn, and people didn't want such a dramatic change. People were more keen on just getting Brexit done and being out of it. And it tied into the whole immigration thing, and then obviously the Brexit Party stood back and let the Conservatives wipe out the Labour Party at that time. But a lot has changed since then, and I think a lot has changed in the last several years since that 2019 election. But obviously at the time of this recording, I haven't seen Labour's manifesto. Will it be as ambitious and as bold as Jeremy Corbyn's? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? But what do you guys think? Do you think it was right for Sir Keir to attack Jeremy Corbyn's Labour manifesto in 2019? Was it really necessary? Is it right for him to compare it to Rishi Sunak's manifesto? I don't think so, me personally, but maybe some of you will disagree. Let me know your thoughts and more about this all in the comments section down below. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video, and subscribe because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p. Or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to catch you all very, very soon.